So let's get the administration's read on all of this. You've already heard it, right? That it's the oil guys, and they are the ones making things even more painful for you at the pump. Tim Stewart is with us, the U.S. Oil and Gas Association president. Tim, you've been, hearing a lot from the administration, from critics who say oil guys are gouging us. By extension, you are gouging us. What do you think of that?
We find ourselves at the point where the Biden administration's failure to plan now constitutes a significant emergency. It's a colossal failure of your leadership, and it's not going to be resolved by accusing millions of Americans who work in the oil and gas industry of being unpatriotic. They're trying to have it both ways. I mean, if we run through the White House schedule this week, on Tuesday, the White House called for big tech to censor any unflattering information on social media with regards to renewables. On Wednesday, they accused the oil and gas industry of price gouging and not doing enough when we're at 95% refining capacity. But on Thursday, they postponed additional leasing. And on Friday, we get to the point where they're promising gas cards for everybody. The ironic part of that particular interaction with the White House this week was the president threatened to invoke emergency powers to boost production and output. The irony is those emergency powers would essentially be reversing their own energy policy decisions over the last 18 months. It's unbelievable. But if that's what it takes to do it, we'll do it. We'll go that route.
So let me ask you, Tim, when they talk about, and the White House was talking about opening up and expanding refinery activity, a good many of them would have to be retrofitted to deal with alternatives to foreign oil that comes in that has to be reprocessed and refined for American customers. So that's easier said than done. I'm just wondering your thoughts on that and whether that could be done relatively soon.
Well, and that's the challenge that you have when, as an administration, you set forth policies in the campaign, and then when you get into office, that you intend to sunset an entire industry. And that's what they made that very clear. No more fossil fuels. We're going to move this complete transition to renewables. And then they sent this message to Wall Street, which was basically, you need to start debanking any investment in the oil and gas and in the refining industry. That 95% capacity, we are there because we are running full, but we still have 6 or 7 refineries that have not come online, primarily because they have either not been able to secure the financing, or the business decision has been made to shift to biofuels because that's what the administration told them to do. You're right, it is a lot easier said than done.
So this idea that the administration has that you're made a bad situation, or your industry's made a bad situation worse by still zinging it to customers here when you could be looking at more production here, but you're not. What do you say to that?
Well, we're really, from the production side, we're about up where we were just right before the pandemic hit. So we're getting as much product into the marketplace as we possibly can. But the reality is you can't wish this thing just to happen. Again, at 95% capacity, there's not an awful lot of additional room to bring new product online to get it done. At the same time, we've made commitments to our allies in Europe that we are going to do everything we can to get them LNG and refined product as well. And you're seeing that as an impact in the marketplace also. But again, the administration, the thing that really concerns me is this attack on the oil and gas workers in the U.S. The White House press secretary essentially said that they need to do their patriotic duty this past week. Let me tell you, that's not going to solve the problem by accusing people who are keeping the lights on of being unpatriotic.
There have been a number of investigations over the last 40 years, Federal Trade Commission, a host of others, through Republican and Democratic administrations. And I'm far from an industry apologist here, where they've been looking into cabal activity. Never been proven, never been, even remotely real. So it happens again in yet another crisis. I'm just wondering, because oil does trade in the open markets, if the administration committed to more exploration here on federal lands, private lands, all types of lands, didn't do away with the green stuff or wind or solar, even nuclear, what do you think the response would be? Because markets are what decide the price of this. Wouldn't they immediately start seeing the price come down because there'd be people optimistic that there would be more supply on the way?
You know, that is a great point. And we've been trying to make that for months and months now. Again, you can't threaten to sunset an industry and debank an industry because it has this chilling effect on the long-term investment. The reality is, look, the United States is the world's energy superpower. We're the number one in oil production, number one in natural gas production. We have the largest coal reserves in the world. We're number one in geothermal, and we're number two in solar and wind. We've got to start acting like we're the superpower. The superpower writes the playbook and calls the plays. And when we start acting like that, that sends a clear message to the global investment community that the U.S. is going to run the all-of-the-above portfolio, and energy, whether it be oil and gas, renewables, is the right play to go.
Yeah, you guys want to make money. You can make a lot more money if you can get a lot more production going. So it's in your self-interest, if people think so cynically, to do just that. But Tim Stewart, U.S. Oil and Gas Association President, we did want to hear your point of view here. Again, oil is a commodity, trades like a commodity, much like a stock, and much is really focused on the future of the business. Many people are saying right now it's tight and getting worse.